Yo, I'm Jay Cartere,
And I'm Mike.
and this is our review of Wale's new album, the album About Nothing. So yeah, let's give our basic overall opinions on the project first of all.
Alright, you go first, go on.
I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great project. Like, there was a message behind most of the songs, and even though like most of the time when I listen to albums or songs and they have a message behind it, they're like extremely boring, innit?
Yeah.
And I don't like that. No one likes boring songs. And Wale kept it entertaining. Like, his flow was very, I don't know, it was
versatile.
Yeah, it was versatile. Plus, it was upbeat, so it never like droned on. Like, it didn't seem like he was preaching. It seemed like everything that he was saying, he said it in an articulate manner, and yeah, it kept it interesting and whatnot. So yeah, I liked the album. Basically, I really enjoyed the project.
You said no skippers on Twitter. You tweeted.
Yeah, I did tweet there was no skippers because I personally believe there was no track that I needed to press forward on. Like, there was some tracks that I liked more than others, and some tracks that I didn't enjoy that much. Like, I wouldn't put it on repeat or something like that. But there were no tracks that I was like, oh, this is a terrible track, it shouldn't have made the album. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great project. Yeah, because of the last project that he put out, I was a bit skeptical going into this one.
Same.
But I think he improved on, what was it, The Gifted? Yeah, The Gifted. He improved on that like immensely. Like, it was much better than The Gifted.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm happy about this project. I hope other people listen to it, because a lot of people are like, they don't, I don't know, they're not looking forward to this project.
They've given up on it.
Maybe they've been burned by the Gifted, which I don't even know why I didn't like The Gifted.
I think it was the timing as well.
It came out when
Born Sinner was out. Yeezus.
Didn't really care about Born Sinner. Yeezus was, I was more listening to the Yeezus than The Gifted. And I didn't listen to it as much because I didn't have the time to delve into like a new project. I think right about now it was a great time for him to release his album, because like no one has really put out anything out recently.
Yeah.
Nothing really came out this month, did it?
This month, no. Yeah.
Except for Action Bronson's thing, I think maybe.
Yeah, Action Bronson and L, but they're kind of on a lower tier compared to Wale.
Yeah,
Wale chose a very good time.
Yeah, definitely a good time, because then
Much better time than last.
I got to digest it and listen to it a couple of times, and yeah, I think, I don't know, on The Gifted it felt like he was trying too hard. Like, I don't know, that should be a good thing, but it just didn't come together for me. Maybe I needed to give it a couple more listens to really feel like what he was trying to do. But on this album, I felt the effort put into every track, and it was still a great project of work. Basically, like, it was a solid project. Definitely, I would recommend for everyone to listen to it and grab that. But yeah, what was your opinions on the project?
Different to yours still.
Because I know you wasn't looking forward to it.
Yeah, like the way Jay hollered me to. Like, first off, I'm gonna say that I haven't given it as much plays as I would like to give it, but I've given it a good few amount of times.
So you've only listened to it once, right?
Only once throughout, and I've listened to a couple odd tracks again and again. As Jay said, weren't looking forward to it. I think a lot of people, I don't know about like in the US, but I think a lot of people in the UK have given up on Wale. From my perspective of friends that I've been talking to, like they've given up on Wale. Like, they didn't like the last album.
I proper had to persuade you to listen.
Jay had to proper persuade me.
He proper wasn't on it
at
all.
And I'll say like going through it, I was like, raw. Like, it's not as bad as I thought it would be, but because like there were standout tracks for me, like Helium Balloon, the second track. That was I had to will that.
Okay.
Like, that's when I hollered you. I was like, alright, but that's just a second track.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
so I was like, okay, like, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. But this is the problem with Wale, that I think there was skippers, and that was the difference to you. I think there are skippers on.
What do you think was?
I can't even remember their names.
Talk about the overall view, and then we'll get to the tracks.
Yeah, the overall view is very
so
good.
You think
musically.
there were skippers? You think there were some bangers?
There's some bangers. There's some skippers. Very good musically. Wale's good at making musically good sounding albums.
Yeah.
And Wale can rap. Like, I'm not taking that away from
for
Wale.
real, he can rap.
I can't deny that he can't. I can't say he can't rap. Like, that's impossible for me to say that. Wale can rap. Wale can rap, and I saw that on the album. I heard that on the album. I mean, I've known Wale can rap. Like, he's versatile. He's got bars, and he's talking sense. He's not just talking bullshit.
Yeah.
But going to one of the points that you said about the message. What did you think the message was?
There was loads of different messages throughout the songs. Like, there was loads of different songs with different messages. Like, there was, I don't know, I've got some notes. Let me bring them up. Yeah,
because why I wanted to ask about the messages is because I heard different messages in different songs, but I didn't get what the overall message was. I got why he called it the album about nothing, because he said in the intro, no one cares anything about albums. Like, nobody gives, like, what did he say? Nothing.
I didn't even
still something
pick up on that. To be honest, like,
about nothing.
I don't know how you picked up on it listening to it once, and I didn't pick up on it listening to it 3 times. But
he said something about nobody cares about albums, so I'm gonna give you an album about nothing. Innit? Something that was. Put in the comments what he actually
I didn't even know why it was. I thought that Jerry Seinfeld must have had some sort of show called something about nothing or something like that he incorporated into the album.
There's probably
name.
Many different reasons for it, but I didn't get how that name title and how the Jerry Seinfeld skits. I didn't get. You get what I mean? Like, I didn't get how it all.
You didn't like the skits?
I liked the skits, but I didn't get how it all came together as this one album.
Well, I don't feel that the project like wrapped up as well as some other albums. Yeah, like it didn't have that complete feel. Like, what was the last song? I think it was.
Well, there was the bonus track.
If that was a bonus track, then we'll have to say The Body was the last song. Yeah. And if that was the last song, that doesn't really wrap up the album, because that was a radio single. It was a great song. Jeremiah went hard on that as always. Like, but it should have more been in like the middle or something like that. Like I think maybe the track listing wasn't as complete as it could have been.
He often does that though, because I'm remembering that's what it reminded me of when The Gifted. No, not The Gifted. What was his first album? Ambition.
That was a sick album.
Yeah, there was a Jeremiah track that was the last track, if I remember correctly.
Is it?
Yeah, play. No, actually, it was either the Jeremiah one or the one with Rick Ross. It was a radio one. It was, and Wale seems to do that, and I think that's weird, because those are tracks that are usually early on in that album. Yeah,
definitely. But I think early on in this album, it's more of the message-heavy tracks that I was talking about. Like, I think, let me see, Helium Balloon was basically about how his fans, they want him to be big, but not bigger than them, if that makes sense. Like, they don't want him to surpass just being an artist for them. Like, they want to keep hold of him. They don't want him to blow up too much and become a superstar. Yeah. So that's what that message was in that song. Yeah. The White Shoes was about how like
people do anything to like get those fresh white shoes.
Basically how poor people or like just impoverished people who don't really have a lot of money will spend all that they have on trying to be fashionable and looking good, and how like people will kill over it and die over it and vice versa. So that's what it was basically about, and I like that message. I agree with it. I see that all the time, so I can relate to that. And the way he executed was entertaining. Like usually when I hear a song that's got a heavy message or whatever about it, it's on some old 19s beat and the rapper's is like bare slow and he's just preaching to you, and no one wants to hear that. That's not entertaining, that's boring. But the way that Wale comes across, like he's got them punchy bars, he's got the precise flow, and it's upbeat, so it's not as preachy or boring as them tracks usually are. So I really appreciated that from like the album. The Pessimist track was about, I got a quote here, it's, if a killer was a nigger, would niggas really care? Cause niggas worse than Zimmerman live in everywhere. So it's basically about society and like racial tension and stuff, like how everyone's up in arms about a white guy killing a black guy, but no one really cares about a black guy killing a black guy. And there was like another quote which was, you finna riot without a purpose. And when I heard that, I was thinking about, remember the Tottenham riots? That loads of people was basically rioting so that they could loot stores. Like in the beginning, it was all about the Mark Duggan case and all that sort of shit. Yeah. But really, what it came down to in the end was
when it went across the whole country.
Yeah, it was just loads of people who wanted to
free shit.
Yeah, they wanted free shit. Yeah. And that's basically what happens when like loads of people riot. Like the people who want free shit come out and capitalize off the situation. But yeah, there was loads of different like messages for each song. I don't think there was like a whole message for the album per se.
Probably was, but we'd have to find out from him.
Yeah.
But this is my like conflict and like this is my problem with Wale. Like obviously this is rap. So what's the thing that we do with rap as listeners, and I guess the artists do themselves? It's all about competition. So if you know what I'm gonna say,
if you listen to it comparing it to someone else, that's not really enjoying it for what it is, man. That's not fair on him.
If putting it as like just Wale's album and just focusing on it on just that album by itself, it's a good album compared to the rest of his albums. Could be his best. It is competing with Ambition. It could be his best album.
Yeah.
But we have to, fam. We have to. It's rap. It's in this genre. We have to compete. So with what's going on right now, like of this year already, I think Kendrick's dropped the best album this year.
Really?
So I was listening to it, and do you know what's funny is that Wale and Kendrick are talking about a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
A lot of the same things, a lot of the same themes and messages Wale's trying to put out and Kendrick is trying to put out.
Yeah.
And I think Kendrick put it better. I think he executed that album better.
I can't agree with you there, man.
Brilliant.
Nah, fam.
The way he made it flow, like so I don't understand what you could say.
As like the way the project. Wait, I think it stopped recording. Alright, sorry about that, guys. I just stopped recording, but yeah, as like how the project flowed and shit like that, as it came around and like the poetry that went throughout it and how it like tied up in a nice little bow with the ending with Tupac and whatnot. It was a better album by like through that like. That aspect of the album was better than Wale's album, but on sheer entertainment value, Wale's album was way more entertaining. It was way more sonically pleasing and easier to listen to. Like I can listen to Wale's album on my way to somewhere or just fling it on in the background and be cool. But Kendrick's album, I need to be in that space to be thinking about. I want to listen to this sort of stuff, and I've only listened to it once, so. Maybe if I give it a couple more listens, maybe I'll enjoy it more. But just from what I like, the information that I have presented to me now, I definitely prefer Wale's album.
Yeah. Obviously, this is just our opinions. Like,
tell us what you think.
Yeah. Obviously, I get what you mean about the sonically bit because I didn't like Kendrick's album sonically when I first heard it.
Yes, there was loads of the dissonance and loads of things that were out of tune, and I think that Wale's album was there were better songs. It was easier to listen to. Like those songs could be played in the club and whatnot. And
Wale
you chill out
had more current instrumentals and more. Yeah, there were more hard hitting instrumentals that grab you straight away.
Yeah. And you could turn up to it and still learn something at the same time, which is the important thing that I think Wale is trying to do. Like he's trying to make entertaining music that everyone can listen to and enjoy, and it has substance, which I think is much better than just trying to make a album full of substance and not even trying to entertain people, which is how I felt with Kendrick's album.
But I think Kendrick's was very entertaining, even though it never hit me straight away. Now I listen to it again and again. I think it is entertaining as well as substance, but obviously
maybe on repeat listens it becomes better. But did I listen to it twice?
I think you've only listened to it once.
I think I did listen to it once.
Now my problem with Wale's album is that I feel like what's going to happen with this album is the same thing that's going to happen with his last album, is that I'm going to get like really tired of it. Like, I weren't over the moon or jumping for joy over his last album, but I liked it. I remember listening to it a few times. Like there was certain tracks like Rotation.
I don't even know none of the tracks of that.
No, Rotation is a banger. I remember that. That's the one with Wiz Khalifa and.
I think I remember it kind of, but I don't know, that whole album just kind of slipped past me. It didn't stay with me. It didn't have an impact on me at all. This album has actually had an impact on my life. Like, it's made me want to be so much more productive and shit and work harder and just, I don't know, like it's had a positive impact on my life, like more than Kendrick's album or Wale's last album or any of that. Like, I don't think anything else has come out this year. So this is
your favourite album of the year so far?
Who else has released anything this year?
Well, just Kendrick's album, Drake's mixtape.
We can't really count that because he's releasing another album this year, like a proper album. So I don't know if
You haven't listened to L's or Action Bronson's yet. I've listened to L's. I haven't listened to Action Bronson's yet. And that's all I can think of at the moment. There is more though for this year.
Well, for right now, Wale's album is what I'm listening to. Like after we do this review, I'm gonna check out that new Yo Gotti that came out because I didn't even. This guy. I know. I go from the super substance to the super ignorant because like.
Did you see Yo Gotti just get body slammed?
No, that wasn't a Yo Gotti. That was Plies.
Oh, was it Plies? They're all the same. They're all the same. They're chatting about the same shit. They're all the same.
But yeah. After that, I'm gonna check that out. But for now, Wale is probably the best album that I've heard so far. I think there was another album that got released this year that I'm just not remembering. But who else? Are you sure?
Big Sean.
Oh yeah! Oh my god! Yeah. Nah.
And this guy's a Big Sean stan. He's a Big Sean stan,
bro.
And even he's let down by that album.
Sean. No, like I was let down the first time I listened to it, but then I listened to it a couple more times and like I enjoy it more now. But I don't know if I want to go into that on this Wale review.
Because that's another.
I do. Like enjoyed the album now though, but I don't know whether I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I couldn't because when I listen to music, I try not to compare it to other artists and stuff.
I
feel that doesn't let you appreciate the music as much.
But it's the part of rap.
I understand that, but like while I'm listening to it, I'm not comparing. Like I'll listen to it.
I listen to it and then compare.
Listen to it a couple times, and then maybe down the road I'll compare it. But even then, like I just listen to artists for like who they are and what they're trying to put out in it. Because every artist is different. Everyone's trying to do something different. And Wale's album is completely different to Big Sean's album. Like Big Sean's more like hilarious and stuff. Like he's less
substance.
Yeah, he's got less substance, but he does have a little bit. Of substance, but that's more Wale's core. Wale's trying to give you substance and like teach you a lesson.
And Wale's trying to teach you something. Yeah, when Big Sean talks about substance, it's more about his life. Yeah, very personal. Which
Wale did do a couple times on this album.
Yeah, he's becoming a lot more personal in his interviews as well.
Yeah,
and I'm rating that, and I think he's becoming less arrogant, and you know how he used to used to be just an unlikable character because he was always moaning about like, oh, I'm dark skinned, and they're not rating me like J. Cole and Drake.
Even when he was saying things that may have made him unlikable, I still understood where he was coming from because
frustration.
I understand the frustration, and he's just being real. He's being honest. He's just revealing his feelings. Like if he's upset about something, why shouldn't he say it? Like it's not like he's forcing you to listen to him. Like he's calling you up and moaning at you. Like that would be annoying. But he's having an interview, people asking him questions. Obviously he's going to get these things off his chest. And I personally didn't feel like he was an arrogant character at all. And maybe it's because I'm a fan of him and his music, and so I gave him like more leeway on that, like you would with Kanye. But you can see that Kanye sometimes does crazy stuff. But even when he does that crazy stuff, I still understand where he's coming from. Like I'm not that judgmental character to be like, oh, you can't say this. Maybe it's like the way they say it could be more PC, but I'm not all for like being politically correct. Just like, do whatever, innit?
What annoyed me with Wale's last album is that he was promoting about being the way he was talking about the album. He should have put out this album that he had now.
You're
Because
saying
he was talking about how
like it
he's
was
like,
great.
yeah, he's great and he's better than
It
a
was
lot of
called
these
The
rappers.
Gifted, yeah.
And he's like, and he's got all the substance, and he doesn't just rap about this and that. And there was a lot of just rapping about this and that on the album, like clappers. Like the way he was dissing like trap songs out there, and he was dissing the club songs, and he was dissing songs that don't have substance and meaning, and he was dissing songs about big booty bitches, and there was a song on the album about big booty bitches. So that annoyed me.
He had to make them
so
radio
much.
bangers, didn't it? But yeah, I do feel like this album
I feel
was
like he's got it right this time. He's
it was
got
a
it
great
right this
project.
time.
And
Got it
yeah,
right.
what would you give it out of, like, if you had to give it a score out of 10 or something?
Yeah, someone asked me this, and I had to compare. Because I had to think.
No, just give it a score out of 10, standing on its own, pretend there was
You're
no
not gonna
other
like my
album.
answer though.
Why?
Because I can't give it a score out of 10 without comparing.
Why? Why can't you just appreciate the work for what it was and say,
No,
you know
because
what?
then I have to
this
think,
is how
what
it
is a 10?
I hear that. What is a 10 though?
I gave it, for me personally, a 10 is like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. For me personally, I gave this album a 6 or a 7.
Okay, I can understand that.
Okay.
A 7's quite like where I'm headed with it, like a 7 or 8. Like I'll be cool.
See, he's
getting that through.
trying to push it.
Well, it's not 7 or 8. Yeah, so that's basically what I'd say, like 7 or 8.
Right, so we can agree that it's a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's 9 or 10, like, because
Yeah.
it didn't blow me away,
Yeah.
but it was a great album. Like I enjoyed it. So yeah, I'll say I'd give it an 8 because it was good.
And it's Wale's best album.
Yeah, it had substance, no skippers, which is always a plus.
I think there might be some.
What songs do you think are skippers?
I'd have to see the track listing again. They were definitely. I can't think on the top of my head because they're skippers, fam.
Well, then that means there's no skippers
Nah,
because you couldn't name any. So
Alright, what was the one that he's trying?
I think the
track
deadest song was probably The Success.
Yeah. I
think-
was thinking of something with an S in it.
The Success, yeah. That was probably the only song that was kind of dead.
No,
and maybe
it was-
the bonus track wasn't all that.
Yeah, I was disappointed by
When
that.
I first heard it, I thought it was whack. But then when I listened to it a couple more times,
I need to listen to it a couple
appreciated
more times, but I think right now it was very disappointing.
Because it's like 2 minutes, 30 seconds, and Wale's hardly on it, so it's like it's a feature.
And when you look at that title and you look at the features, Ty Dolla $ign,
You
Kanye
expect
West,
more.
Wale, you expect something great, and it weren't.
It should have been an epic song, but
Should've, but-
yeah, I guess 8 from me. Were you saying 7? Come on, give him a 7. Give him a 7, man. Give him a
6.5.
6.5 from him.
No, we'll agree together it's a 7 out of 10. Like if we average both our scores, it would be like a 7 out of 10 album.
I guess so, probably. I haven't done the maths. We'll put up a score here. That will be the maths done.
But listen, if you was like me and you don't want to F with Wale, give this album a listen.
Definitely, man. Check it out. I personally think it was a great album.
It will actually change your mind.
Definitely worth your time, at least. So yeah, check it out. Like and subscribe. Check out the rest of our videos, and we'll see you next time.